we're teaching a coaching course for managers, one of the things that I thought would be helpful for all of the learners in this program is to reflect on and understand some key concepts when we're thinking about giving one another feedback. Feedback is an essential skill and tool of a coach, and we will be learning a lot of ways to conduct coaching conversations over the course of this program. But what I want to make sure, even at the beginning of our time together, is that I've given you a few pointers, a few things to consider as you are invited to give one another feedback through peer review and discussion questions. So a few tips to keep in mind. The first thing is you will always be invited to apply your feedback to a rubric. And we want to make sure that the feedback you're providing aligns with the rubric request. So are you focusing on the specific information or facts that the rubric invites you to look for? Be sure that you've read the rubric before you start evaluating another learner's work, so that as you are reading through their work, you can be assessing their responses to the key elements of the rubric. Ask yourself, did this learner meet the expectations as outlined in the rubric? And then ask yourself and answer why or why not. We want to make sure that when we're assessing another learner's answers, that we're clear not only if they did or did not apply the expectations of the rubric, but why or why not, that we give clear answers and feedback in this area. Another key element to providing effective feedback is to identify areas of strength and areas of opportunity. And the way that I like to say this when I'm giving feedback to coaches is keep this up or try this next time. Okay? So keep this up is identifying strengths. And I always think it's good to try and find at least 3 things that someone is doing well. Now, sometimes that could be hard because people might struggle or they're challenged by the question, but still do your best to identify 3 things that they're doing well, 3 things that they should keep up for next time. On the other side, we want to identify what could someone do better. So in this evaluation, we write down, try this next time. And the same thing is true. What are 3 things this person could try next time when they're answering a question or delving into the topic at hand? A few last tips. In a world of social media where people are commenting and writing things online blindly to people they don't know, in some cases, the courtesy and the kindness of feedback is to a certain degree getting lost. In some way, we call this decorum. In this program, I'm inviting every learner who participates to demonstrate what we call decorum. And what that looks like is a couple of things. When you're writing your feedback, pretend that you're looking at them and are sitting with them in person. Would you say what you're about to say if you had to look them in the eye? Ask yourself, is my feedback based on the facts as I observed them? Or is this feedback based on my opinion and my judgment? We always do better when we give feedback based on facts. Is my feedback professional? Is this something that I would say to a colleague or even to my boss? Is this feedback what I call clean of judgment, meaning I don't have overly demanding opinions of what this person has said or not included in their feedback? Am I clear that the feedback I'm providing is measuring up against a rubric? Is this feedback kind? And lastly, is this feedback intended to be helpful? These are just a few questions to ask yourself as you are giving feedback to your fellow learners so that we can all have a very constructive and meaningful exchange as we go through the different exercises together. Thank you for taking some time to watch this video on feedback. I'm so excited to continue to do this work with you.